ANEEE. I'll go into that a little bit in the presentation. Just get set up here real quick.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Take it away.
Let's see. Okay, can you see oh, you're at the end. Not a good place to start. Okay, can you guys see that first slide?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
All right, great. So thank you again, Dominica, for bringing us all together and facilitating this knowledge sharing event. And thank you, Jim, for that really insightful presentation. Thank you all for being here. Like Dominica said, my name is Jenny Stars. I work for the Renewable Energy Alaska Project, also known as REAP. And my program there is the Alaska Network for Energy Education and Employment, also called ANEEE. I'm just trying to get my view of the chat up. There we go. So feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat, but Dominica, if you see something, please jump right in. It would also be great to get to know you all a little bit. I started at REAP in the spring, so I'm still meeting people in the workforce development and education space. So if you want to share your name, location, and organization, that would be a great way to connect a little bit more and make sure that I'm including relevant information for you all. So a little background about REAP. We are a small but mighty nonprofit that is focused on the development of energy efficiency and renewable energy here in Alaska. Most of our team is based in South Central Alaska, Anchorage and the Mat-Su, but we have an energy educator and regional catalyst based in Southeast as well. And we travel all over the state. Last year, we were in more than 30 communities around the state for energy education and technical assistance. And we collaborate on training, education, and advocacy initiatives. And today I'll really be focusing on our education and training work and opportunities. So ANEEE, really our goal is to connect clean energy champions and stakeholders around the state to build the human capacity for clean energy initiatives through workforce development and education, and to research and promote clean energy career pathways. We are funded by the Office of Naval Research, which surprises some people, but energy independence, reliability, affordability, those are all really important to military operations in Alaska, as well as so many other aspects of life everywhere. And just to step back, I've mentioned energy efficiency, renewable energy, and clean energy a couple times already in introducing REAP and ANEEE, but I wanted to define those terms a bit. We think of clean energy as both energy efficiency and renewable energy. Energy efficiency being reducing energy use, renewable energy being harnessing energy from natural resources that we won't deplete. And we really promote energy efficiency first in all of our work and education, because the cleanest energy is the energy you don't use. And energy efficiency can also be really thought of really broadly. It applies to a bunch of different careers, building design, tons of different appliances, so that impacts a lot of trades. So just wanted to set the stage for and define those terms a little bit before I dive deeper. I want to just explain some of the ways that we work at ANEEE. We work to connect energy stakeholders, which, there's tons of different community members, teachers, energy managers, governance, lots of people involved in energy in different communities in Alaska. So we work to bring people together through convenings and working groups. We help identify and connect people to grant opportunities, which is especially needed right now with lots of federal energy investments and opportunities coming into Alaska. We maintain a gap analysis of the needs and opportunities in energy education and employment. And we also just started putting out a newsletter to share timely clean energy job postings, training opportunities, events, promising grant programs. This has been really helpful for us to make sure, like, as fast-moving opportunities and trainings are coming out, that we can get them out to people, you know, when they need to know before the deadlines pass. And then to build community capacity and help develop Alaska's clean energy workforce, we work with the rest of the team at REAP to identify and deliver really culturally relevant, place-based community education and technical assistance. And improving energy literacy is a huge component of that work and of supporting communities' energy self-determination. Because if you don't understand energy and the pros and cons of different energy sources and technologies, it's really hard to, you know, make a plan for your future and for your community's future, and to know about all the different job opportunities that exist. The pictures on the screen are from a recent summertime visit that some of our team took to McGrath, which is participating in the Energy Transitions Initiative Partnership Project, also known as ACPE. That's not our acronym, although we do love acronyms, but that's a federal program that we help run here in Alaska. And our work through ETIP is helping communities really get an energy plan in place, you know, identifying the leaders who are involved, who need to be involved in a successful plan, and then helping connect them to opportunities to make that plan a reality. So at that visit, they did hands-on wind, solar, and hydrokinetic activities to demonstrate different technologies. And they took a tour of the power plant and had community discussions, and really also, like, had all ages involved. So they worked with the school, they worked with the wider community. And we do that, you know, every summer, any season really, throughout Alaska, and are always looking to partner with more communities who are thinking about their energy future or wanting to be thinking about it. And then our third goal is really probably the most exciting and relevant part of ANEEE's work for this audience, and that's promoting clean energy job pathways. In a presentation earlier this week, I believe it was Tuesday, with the Division of Employment and Training Services at the Alaska Department of Labor, the presenter asked for examples of in-demand jobs, and most of those jobs are what we describe as clean energy jobs: plumbers, HVAC technicians, electricians, construction workers, truck drivers. There are so many careers involved in building and maintaining energy infrastructure and working in energy efficiency, and they're in huge demand in Alaska because they are really cross-functional. They work in so many different industries, and also nationwide. With the tax incentives and the grant opportunities available from the federal government right now, everyone is kind of competing for the same worker pool. In the past decade, every $1 million of clean energy funding, $1 million of clean energy funding has, in Alaska, has created 15 to 20 construction-related jobs. Compare that to, you know, the projections that in the next decade we'll be getting close to $1 billion of clean energy funding. That's a huge growth that we want to be able to meet, to capture all those benefits for Alaska and for our citizens. So that clean energy job pathway work that we do is really to help build that pipeline of workers. We work at career and energy fairs to really show the good jobs available in the energy industry. We're always open to invitations to new fairs or helping set up career and energy fairs in rural communities. We also work with high schools to arrange guest speakers and energy lessons from our educators and from the industry. We've done some work with King Tech High School and Kusilvat Career Academy here in Anchorage. Again, always open to new invitations and connections to show some of those jobs to students. And we developed a Clean Energy Careers in Alaska booklet that we're really trying to circulate widely to grow the visibility of the career pathways into energy. Let's see. The booklet shows a lot of different clean energy careers. Like I mentioned, there's skilled trades, but there's also administration, engineering. There's just so many different careers for students who have different skill sets or interests, but who are, interested in science or interested in energy or climate change. There's just a lot of different on-ramps. And so this book outlines some of those careers, but also gives career requirements and different trainings that are available in Alaska, which we think is a great resource for students and also counselors, job centers. So if you'd like to get physical copies of the booklet, I'll share my contact information at the end. We can ship some out for you for free. It's also available online to download. And Annie also works really closely with REAP's energy education team. In this picture, this is our education director, Colleen Fisk. She's helping students at Kusilvat Career Academy, which is the residential quarterly boarding school option for students from the Lower Yukon School District. She's helping them test a wind turbine that they designed. So our education efforts really cover the whole range of ages. This was a lesson with high school students. We try to do a lot of hands-on activities, really like build STEM skills, increase career awareness, and also just, showing sort of raising awareness of raising energy consciousness of students and adults. So here are a couple current and upcoming specific education initiatives and opportunities that we have. In K through 12, we have our Power Pledge Challenge running from now until December. It's sponsored by 8 utilities around the state, and educators can sign up classes or student groups. We also take, homeschool groups. We're really expansive in our view of what a student group can be. And they can sign up to schedule a classroom energy presentation and participate in monthly challenges and be in the running for prizes. The top class in the state actually wins more than $1,000 in classroom supplies. And in each region that we have a participating utility partner, we give out a pizza party for the top winner, the top class or student group. And also sometimes we can arrange a tour of a local power facility, like a power plant, depending on the age of the top class and the regulations of the utility. But it's a really cool opportunity to get students thinking about energy use and also to get some connections with your utility. Utilities can be a really great source of good jobs, especially in communities in rural Alaska. And so we really enjoy providing that connection. And then in the spring, we host the Clean Energy Olympics for middle school and high school students. They team up, it's teams from around the state, and participate in a challenge, a renewable technology engineering challenge over one weekend, usually in March. And often schools will incorporate the topics and some lessons into their curriculum and their spring courses to kind of lead up to the Olympics. And we're always looking for teachers and other adults to coach teams or recruit students. And it can also be a really great opportunity for CTE instructors and kids who really like tactile hands-on learning. And then the top teams from the statewide competition go to a national competition with teams from all over the country. And that's usually in May. And last spring, you can see the picture in the bottom there. That's a team from Gamble that flew into Colorado for the competition and brought some baleen blades that they had designed for their turbine. And they actually won a cool blade engineer award, which was really exciting. And it was a really, really cool way to incorporate their culture into the contest. We don't have the final date for the Clean Energy Olympics yet, but if you're interested in participating, again, please get in touch. I'll share my information at the end. And I'll also share our education team's contact information. And then year-round, our educators are always traveling to do classroom lessons and activities, like leading kids on a mini energy audit of your school or your classroom, testing solar panels, designing energy efficient houses, all things that really can translate into job skills. And we also offer teacher trainings for schools and school districts that want to incorporate energy curriculum year-round. And our team has also developed a whole bunch of free lessons for teachers at the AK Energy Smart website. Let's see if I can. Okay. So at the website, we have the lesson plan separated by grade groups, and they're really easy to use. They're kind of plug and play. You can download, different resources like a lesson plan or a PowerPoint, student worksheets, and it fits into like one class period. You can stretch it out into multiple. Like I said, there's hands-on activities, and we often provide educator kits to interested teachers who either go through a teacher training or know about REAP and want to incorporate some of that tech in their classroom. And then on the adult education side, we have our annual fall and spring speaker series, which discusses current energy challenges and opportunities in Alaska. This fall, an interesting one that I'm really looking forward to is one about jobs of the future, just talking about all the different things that are coming with our energy transition and the different job opportunities that it's going to bring and is already bringing. And another cool one, Green Banks and Solar for All is going to be discussing the possibilities for really big consumer investments in renewables and in energy efficiency with a green bank bill that REAP is promoting. Green banks provide like loans and more upfront financing for people to invest in energy efficiency and renewables, things like solar panels on their house and heat pumps. A cool education opportunity that we work closely with but don't directly administer is with the University of Fairbanks Bristol Bay campus. Many of their courses talk about sustainable energy or home energy basics in a really Alaska-specific lens, and can be taken virtually, or some have tuition assistance available. And we've even seen them be incorporated into high school courses for dual credit, which is a really cool model to help students get ahead. And our education director does tons of energy efficiency webinars with partners around the state to help explain efficiency in Alaska and give tips on saving energy and saving money. Which leads me to 2 upcoming webinars that she's doing next week and the week after that are free and open to the public. They're both about energy efficiency and just different tips and ways you can weatherize your home to get ready for winter. And we don't have our fall speaker series dates out yet, but we'll be sharing them in the coming weeks on all of our channels and our website and things like that. And that is it. Thank you for your time and attention today. We're really eager to work with more educators, more programs, more communities. We are a resource for all of Alaska. So yeah, please, I'm open for any questions now, or you can get in touch later on.
Jenny, thank you so much. I have a question about one of the first slides. It said that you're connecting individuals to grants. Did I get it right? Can
Yeah.
you tell us a little more about that? Grant is always a good word to
Yes.
elaborate on.
Yes. Yes, it's a good word and also can be a scary word with all the steps required to apply for some of these opportunities. And so we try to share opportunities that we think are really good opportunities. When we say good opportunities, we think of like you know, a partner, like a federal agency partner that has had positive relationships in Alaska. A lot of grants have cost share matches that are kind of hard for communities. So that means, the federal government will only provide 50% of the program funds, and you have to prove that you have the other 50% in order to get it. So we try to sort of weed through all of the many agencies funding opportunities coming out and look for the ones that have more attainable cost shares or don't have a cost share, and share those with our network, with our partners, and especially really relevant ones to the energy education and energy employment world. There's some exciting ones coming out now. Solar for All, there's a couple different state agencies that are applying for Solar for All money, and that'll trickle down. So, as that happens, we'll be sharing that out. There's some cool workforce opportunities that we've been sharing. So yeah, I think it really depends on your needs and what you're looking for, because there's so many that you can get kind of lost in the sauce. But we can try to help filter some of that work.
Thank you. Quick question. If an individual is interested in solar panels for a house, so a private individual, how would he or she go about that?
Yeah, great question. So REAP is sort of we don't endorse specific installers or technologies. We do want to, raise the awareness and provide the steps for how to go about that. We have a list of REAP members on our website that, you can see who does solar and who is a REAP member. Those are always good options. But I mean, basically, if you have done some budgeting, a typical solar panel or solar array in South Central Alaska for a home can cost somewhere around $15,000. There are tax rebates that bring that down. So it usually ends up being more like 10, but and of course that depends on the size, but that's kind of the average size. So if you've looked at your financing and know that could be in their own possibility, then we would just suggest you reach out to a solar company, see what their timelines are like. A lot of the solar installation work takes place in the summer. So, getting on their schedule early is important. And also, they will help determine what the best angle is on your roof, what the best placement is. Often they will recommend not to install a battery because you can just connect to the grid. But if that's something you're interested in, they can also provide more information about that.
Thank you.
I hope that was
I
helpful.
see we have a couple of comments and questions in the chat box.
Yes, Tesla, thank you. Yes, our Southeast, so Tesla asked who our Southeast representative is, and it is Clay Good. He works with the Sustainable Southeast Partnership as a regional catalyst and also as an energy educator for REAP. Travels around to a lot of different communities in Southeast, and also was involved this year in doing the first Southeast Renewable Energy Camp. And they're really excited to continue that next year. So that's a really cool opportunity for kids in Southeast to do like a week of energy related activities and really fun like hydro opportunities in Southeast that he incorporates. And then Catherine says, in regards to the Power Pledge Challenge, your website says if your community gets electricity from one of the below utility sponsors, you are invited to join. You say, I don't see Alaska Electric Light and Power. Is the Juneau utility not participating? I will have to double check on if the Juneau utility is participating or not. I would say even if they're not, we are still basically like providing, you're not in the running for prizes necessarily, but we're still providing all of the challenges, and like we're open to doing classroom visits and things that are associated with the Power Pledge Challenge, but aren't technically Power Pledge Challenge if they're not participating. But I can follow up with you, Catherine, if you want to maybe share your contact info. I can double check that because I'm not technically on the education team running the Power Pledge Challenge, but they will know more. Any other questions? And I'll share the slides with Dominica to share with everybody else too.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for joining us today and providing this invaluable information and educating us more on energy. So
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Please stay with us. If not, have a great day. Thanks so much.